Now we'll see solutions of AOD exercise 2A. Starting with question 1. The area of the triangle formed by any tangent, say at any point. Okay. So the area of the triangle formed by any tangent, say at any point on the curve xy is equal to c square with the coordinate axes. Okay, see, so this is a rectangular hyperbola, and tangent to this rectangular hyperbola at ct comma c by t, which is its parametric coordinates, can be given by x plus t square y is equal to 2ct. Okay, so its at x intercept would be 2ct and y intercept would be 2c by t. We can calculate the area now. So area would be half into this, which would be 2c square. Okay, moving on to question number 2. The equation of normal to the curve x square is equal to 4y, which passes through the point 1 comma 2. So calculating y dash, we get y dash equal to x by 2, and at x is equal to 1 by 2, 1 comma 2. So here x is equal to 1, so y dash will be half. So slope of normal, let's say mn would be equal to -2. Okay, so now we know the slope of the normal and we also know the point. We can write the equation of the normal. Moving on to question number 3. The perpendicular distance from origin to the normal at any point to the curve x is equal to a cos theta plus theta sin theta, and y is equal to a sin theta minus theta cos theta is. Okay, so we have given y is equal to a sin theta minus theta cos theta and x is equal to a cos theta plus theta sin theta. So we would calculate dy by dx, dy by d theta upon dx by d theta is equal to, differentiate this first, a theta sin theta upon a theta cos theta. Okay, so which in turn is equal to tan theta. Okay, so minus dx by dy would be equal to minus cot theta. Now writing the equation, y minus a sin theta minus theta cos theta upon x minus a cos theta plus theta sin theta equal to minus cot theta. Now simplify this. We get y plus x cot theta minus a sin theta plus cos theta cot theta is equal to 0. Now we can calculate distance of this line from origin. Okay, so which would be a sin theta plus cos theta cot theta upon square root of 1 plus cot square theta. Okay, taking sin theta common, taking LCM, we get sin square plus cos square, and hence it would be cosec. So this would simplify to a. Okay, moving on to question number 4. So question number 4 is, if P and Q are lengths of perpendiculars from the origin to tangent and normal to the curve this. Okay, so x is equal to a e per theta sin theta minus cos theta, and y is equal to a e per theta sin theta plus cos theta. It should be, I think there's a misprint, there's a theta missing in the booklet. Anyways, okay, so we'd again calculate dy by dx similar to the previous question. So 2a e power theta cos theta upon 2a e power theta sin theta. And minus dy by dx would be minus tan theta. Okay, now equation of tangent can be written, since we know the slope. Sorry, this should be minus dx by dy. Okay, minus tan theta. Okay, so equation of tangent would be y minus a e power theta sin theta plus cos theta upon x minus a e power theta sin theta minus cos theta is equal to cot theta. Okay, so x cot theta minus y plus a e power theta sin theta plus a e power theta cos square theta by sin theta is equal to 0. This is the equation of the tangent. Okay, now simplifying this, multiplying by sin theta, so we'd get x cos theta minus y sin theta plus a e power theta is equal to 0. Okay, so perpendicular distance of this line from origin would be a e power theta upon square root of cos square plus 1 cos square plus sin square. Now writing equation of normal, we get y minus a e power theta sin theta plus cos theta upon y minus a e power theta sin theta minus cos theta is equal to minus tan theta. This is the equation of the normal. Simplifying, we get y, sorry, this would be x, y plus x tan theta equal to a e theta sin theta plus a e theta cos theta plus a e power theta sin theta tan theta minus 1. Multiply the equation by cos theta, we get y cos theta plus x sin theta is equal to a e power theta. Okay, so distance of this line from origin would again be minus a e power theta, hence P is equal to Q. Moving on to the next question, question number 5. So we have given, if P and Q are lengths of perpendiculars from origin on the tangent and normal to the curve this, then okay, so we'll calculate y dash first. So 2 by 3 x power 1 by 3 so y dash comes out to be minus y by x power 1 by 3. Writing equation of tangent, we get y minus y1 upon x minus x1 is equal to minus y1 by x1 power 1 by 3. Okay, and writing equation of normal, we get y minus y1 upon x minus x1 is equal to x1 upon y1 power 1 by 3. Now simplifying the equation of the tangent, we get y1 power 1 by 3 x plus x1 power 1 by 3 y is equal to x1 1 by 3 y1 plus x1 y1 power 1 by 3. Similarly, we can obtain the equation of the normal. So y1 power 1 by 3 into y minus y1 power 4 by 3 is equal to x1 power 1 by 3 into x minus x1 power 4 by 3. Okay, so we need to calculate the length of perpendicular to tangent and normal from origin. So length of tangent would be x power 1 by 3 y1. Length of perpendicular on tangent would be x1 y1 power 1 by 3 upon x1 power 2 by 3 plus y1 power 2 by 3 root. Okay, P is equal to this, and Q would be equal to xy y1 power 4 by 3 minus x1 power 4 by 3 upon x1 power 2 by 3 minus y1 power 2 by 3. Okay, so this in turn is equal to 2 by 3 minus y1 power 2 by 3 into a power 1 by 3. Okay, and this in turn would be equal to x power 1 by 3 y power 1 by 3 into a power 1 by 3. So now we can calculate the value of 4p square plus q square. Okay, so 4p square would be equal to 4 x power 2 by 3 y power 2 by 3 a power 2 by 3 plus a power 2 by 3, which can be taken out common, and x1 power 4 by 3 plus y1 power 4 by 3 minus 2 x1 power 2 by 3 y1 power 2 by 3 x1 power 2 by 3 plus y1 power 2 by 3 whole square, and this is equal to a to the power 2 by 3, and hence it would become a square. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 6. So if alpha is the angle between the curves this and this, so to calculate the angle between curves, we need to calculate the point of intersection of these two curves. So let's do that first. Question number 6. So y square equal to 2x, x square plus y square equal to 8. Okay, just a sec. So y square equal to 2x, hence x square plus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. X is equal to 2 or x is equal to minus 4, but x cannot be equal to minus 4, so x is equal to 2, and if x is equal to 2, then y has to be equal to 2. And we can also say that there's a symmetry about x-axis, so angle of intersection would be same at 2, 2 and 2, minus 2. So let's calculate angle of intersection at 2, 2. So y dash for first for parabola would be 2y dash is equal to 2, y dash equal to half, and y dash for circle would be minus 1. Okay, so now we can use the formula m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2 mod, which is equal to 3. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 7. Question number 7 says we need to find the angle between the curves y is equal to x plus 3 upon x square plus 1 and y is equal to x square minus 7x plus 11 upon x minus 1. Okay, at 2 comma 1. So y is equal to x plus 3 upon x minus 1, x square plus 1, and y is equal to x square minus 7x plus 11 upon x minus 1. So we already know the point of intersection. We just need to calculate the dy by dx for both the curves. So y dash for this would be x square plus 1 minus 2x square plus 6x. Okay, so minus x square minus 6x plus 1 upon x square plus 1 whole square. So at 2 comma 1 at x is equal to 2, this would give us the value minus 3 by 5. Okay, and y dash for second curve would be y dash for second curve would be 2x square minus 9x plus 7 plus 11 upon x minus 1 whole square. Okay, so it would be x square minus 2x minus 4 upon x minus 1 whole square. So at x is equal to 2, this would give us the value equal to minus 4. Now we know the slope of both the tangents at 2 comma 1, so we can use the formula to calculate upon 1 plus m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2, 12 by 5. Okay, fine. Moving on to the next question, question number 8. So we have been given two curves, x cube minus 3xy square plus 2 is equal to 0, and 3x square y minus y cube plus 2 equal to 0. Okay, what we need to do is we need to find out whether these two curves touch each other or they cut each other orthogonally. For this, we'll first calculate y dash. Okay, so 3x square minus 3x, differentiating with respect to x. Okay, so 3x square minus 3y square minus 6xy dash is equal to 0. So we get y dash from here, x square minus y square upon xy. There is a factor of 2 as well. Okay, and y dash from over here we can calculate as 6xy plus 6xy plus 3x square y dash minus 3y square y dash equal to 0. So we get y dash as 2xy upon y square minus x square. So we can see, irrespective of values of x and y, m1 m2 over here is equal to -1. m1 m2 equal to -1. Hence both the curves cut orthogonally. Moving on to the question number 9. If the curves x is equal to y square and xy is equal to k cut orthogonally, then k is okay. So for the curves to cut orthogonally, the slopes of their tangents at the point of intersection, product of slope of their tangents at the point of intersection has to be -1. Okay, so y dash for first curve would be dy by dx would be -1 by 2y. Okay, and for the second curve xy is equal to k, so y dash would be equal to -y by x, let's say m2. Okay, so for two curves to cut orthogonally, m1 m2 has to be -1. This implies 1 by 2y into -y by x is equal to -1. This implies x is equal to half. Okay, and if x is equal to half, satisfy this x is equal to half in first curve, which gives y is equal to plus minus 1 by root 2. Okay, so if y is plus minus 1 by root 2 and x is half, we can obtain the value of k. Okay, satisfy in x is equal to y square to get y, and now we know x and y both, which we can put in second equation to obtain the value of k. Moving on to the next question, question number 10. The length of the subtangent at a point. Okay, the length of the subtangent at a point. Y is equal to fx is equal to 3 by 8, and the length of subnormal is, length of subtangent is equal to 3 by 8 and length of subnormal is 24. Okay, so we know that ordinate का square is equal to length of subtangent into length of subnormal. Okay, so we can directly obtain the value of value of the ordinate as plus minus 3. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 11. If the relationship between the subnormal and subtangent at any point on the curve, this is of the form subnormal subtangent का square, then p by q. Okay, so question number 11. So if by square is equal to x plus a whole cube, let's calculate y dash first. So 2by dash equal to 3x plus a whole square. This implies y dash equal to 3x plus a whole square upon 2by. Okay, and which in turn is equal to tan theta. Hence cot theta would be equal to 2by upon 3x plus a whole square. We know that subtangent is equal to y cot theta. Hence subtangent would be equal to 2by square upon 3x plus a whole square. And subnormal, we know that subnormal is equal to y tan theta, and hence it would be equal to 3x plus a whole square upon 2b. Okay, now since Sn is equal to Sn is equal to, sorry, P times Sn, P times Sn is equal to Q times St square. So Q times 4qb square y power 4 upon 9x plus a power 4. Okay, so we can obtain P by Q over here as 8b cube y power 4 upon 27x plus a whole power 6. Okay, so but using this equation we know that x plus a whole cube is equal to by square, so this would leave us 8b by 27. Moving on to the next question, question number 12. In the curve x y power n is equal to a power n plus 1, the length of the subnormal is constant when n is equal to. So first calculate the length of subnormal. So dy by dx is equal to minus y by nx is equal to tan theta. Subnormal is equal to y tan theta, which is minus y square by nx. Okay, if minus y square by nx is constant, okay, but we also know this is constant. We also know that x y power n is also constant, hence n has to be equal to minus 2. Okay, substituting x from this equation, constant upon y power n in this equation, we get n is equal to minus 2. Okay, now moving on to question number 13. We've been given the curve x square y square equal to a power 5, and we need to calculate the length of subtangent first. Okay, so first calculate y dash, 2xy square plus 2x square y dy by dx is equal to 0. So we get y dash equal to minus y by x, and we know that length of subtangent is equal to y cot theta. So y cot theta would be minus x by y. Okay, so is equal to minus of mod x, hence length of subtangent varies as the abscissa. Okay, moving on to question number 14. Subtangent at any point on the curve x power m y power n. So x power m y power n is equal to a power m plus n varies as. Okay, so first we need to calculate y dash. So y dash would be m x power m minus 1 y power n plus n x power m y power n minus 1 y dash equal to 0. So this implies y dash equal to minus my by nx. We also know that cot theta, this is tan theta. Okay, so we can calculate cot theta as nx by m by, with the minus sign. We know that length of subtangent is equal to y cot theta, hence minus nx upon m with the modulus sign. Okay, now we can see the x over here, which is the abscissa of the point. Moving on to the next question, question number 15. We can see the curve y square equal to x plus a whole cube, and we need to find the square of the subtangent varies as. Okay, so we know that st square is proportional to Sn. Wait, we know that st square is proportional to Sn, Okay, so this result has been obtained to us in question number, I guess, 11. Okay, so moving on to the next question, question number 16. The normal to the curve x is equal to a cos theta plus theta sin theta, and y is equal to a sin theta minus theta cos theta. We've already solved part of this question, so I think the question was question number 3 of this exercise. We've already shown that the normal is at a constant distance from origin. Okay, so I'll mark question 3 over here. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 17. The line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 is a normal to the curve xy is equal to 1. Okay, so for xy is equal to 1, dy by dx is equal to minus y by x. Okay, so we can see that if xy is positive, then dy by dx is always negative for all x and y. Okay, therefore the slope of the normal has to be positive. Okay, so we can say that if a greater than 0, then b is less than 0, or if a is less than 0, then b is greater than 0. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 18. The value of the parameter a, so that the line this is normal to the curve xy is equal to 1 may lie in the interval. So we've already seen that a in above question number 17, we have already seen that a and b has to be of opposite sign, which means slope has to be negative. So slope of this line is minus of 3 minus a upon a has to be less than 0. Okay, which would give us the range of a. Moving on to the next question, question number 19. 2x square minus ln mod x is a decreasing function in the interval. Okay, so 2x square minus ln x. So f dash should be 4x minus 1 by x, which should be less than 0 upon x is less than 0. So we can calculate the range of x using Wavy curve. Moving to the next question, question number 20. If fx is equal to x by sin x and gx equal to x by sin x, then in the interval 0 to 1, we need to comment on increasing and decreasing nature, so we need to calculate f dash and g dash. So f dash would be sin x minus x cos x upon x square, okay, which is greater than 0 for x belongs to 0 and 1, and g dash should be tan x minus x sec square x upon x square, which is less than 0 for x belongs to 0 to 1. Okay, so we can comment on increasing and decreasing nature of these functions. Question number 21. We've been given f is equal to tan inverse sin x plus cos x. So we need to calculate when this function is increasing. So let's calculate gx is equal to tan inverse x. Okay, so g dash x equal to 1 by 1 plus x square, which is greater than 0 for all x. Okay, so fx increases when sin x plus cos x will increase. Fx will increase when sin x plus cos x will increase. Now let hx is equal to sin x plus cos x. H dash x is equal to cos x minus sin x. For this function to increase, it has to be greater than 0. Sin x is greater than, cos x is greater than sin x in minus pi by 4 to pi by 4. Okay, we can also take minus pi by 2, but given the options we are only left with option C. Question, now moving on to the next question, question number 22. On which of the following intervals is the function fx is equal to x power 100 sin x minus 1 decreasing? So let's calculate f dash first. 100 x power 99 plus cos x. Okay, so for the function to be decreasing, this has to be less than 0. So looking at the options, in 0 to pi by 2, this is always positive. In 0 to 1, this expression is always positive. In pi by 2 to pi, this will become negative, but this will be much positive quantity as compared to cos x. Hence none of the given options satisfy this condition. Okay, moving on to next question, question number 23. So fx is equal to mod x minus x minus 1 come out. Okay, so if x is less than 0, the definition of the function becomes 1 minus 2x. If x is between 0 and 1, fx becomes 1, and if x is greater than 1, fx become 2x minus 1. Okay, so this is monotonically decreasing constant. Wait, there's a minus sign, sorry. Okay, so if x is less than 0, x is between 0 to 1, and x is greater than 1. So if x is less than 0, both the brackets are going to open with the minus sign. So x minus 1 minus x would become minus 1. And if x is greater than 1, both the brackets are going to open with the positive sign. This would become 1. And if x is between 0 and 1, this would become positive and this would become negative. So this would become 2x minus 1. So this is monotonically increasing, this is constant function, and this again would be a constant function. Okay, moving to question number 24. For what values of a does the curve fx is equal to x a square minus 2a plus 2 plus cos x is always strictly monotonic? Okay, so let's calculate f dash first. It's a square minus 2a plus 2 minus sin x is equal to a minus 1 whole square plus 1 minus sin x. Okay, so seems like this function, this is always positive, hence the function will always be monotonic. Wait, there's a minus sign, we have done a mistake. Okay, so let's calculate again. Okay, so this has to be greater than 0 for all x. Okay, so a square minus 2a minus 2 has to be greater than 1. Now we can obtain the values of a. Moving on to the next question, question number 25. We've been given phi x cubed by 3 plus f 3 minus x square. Okay, for all x belongs to 3 comma 4, where f double dash is greater than 0, for all x belongs to minus 3 comma 4, and then phi x is. Okay, so first calculate phi dash x is equal to 3 x square f dash x cubed by 3 minus 2x f dash 3 minus x square, which should be greater than 0. So x square f dash x cubed by 3 is greater than 2x f dash 3 minus x square. So for x greater than 0, this is greater than 0, hence f dash x cubed by 3 is greater than f dash 3 minus x square upon 3. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 26. So f 1 to 10 is the range, is a non-decreasing function, and g is a function, is a non-increasing function. Okay, let hx is equal to f of gx with h1 equal to 1, then h2 equal to. Okay, so 26. So we know that f dash is greater than equal to 0 and g dash is less than equal to 0. H dash equal to f dash gx into g dash x. We know that this is greater than 0 and this is less than 0, so overall this is less than 0, less than equal to 0. Therefore h of 2 is equal to 1, since h1 equal to 1. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 27. So y is equal to a ln mod x plus bx square plus x. So this has extreme values at minus 4 by 3 and 2. So we need to calculate the values of a and b. So first calculate y dash equal to a by x plus 2bx plus 1. So this is equal to 0. Okay, so 2bx square plus x plus a upon x is equal to 0. Alpha is equal to minus 4 by 3 and beta equal to 2. Using sum of roots and product of roots, we can calculate the values of a and b from over here. Okay, moving on to the question number 28. The nearest point on the curve this y square equal to 4x to 2 comma 1 is. Okay, so using coordinate we can solve it as the minimum distance lies along the normal. Okay, so let's calculate distance between its parametric form and 2 comma 1. So distance for t square comma 2t would be t square minus 2 whole square plus 2t minus 1 whole square का root. This would be the distance. Is equal to t power 4 minus 4t square plus t power 4 minus 4t plus 5. So we need to minimize this. So let's say ft is equal to t power 4 minus 4t plus 5. Then f dash t would be equal to 4t cube minus 4, which is 0 at t is equal to 1. Okay, so put the value of t over here to get to get the minimum distance, and put the value of t in at square comma t square comma 2t to find to get that point. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 29. The point on the curve y is equal to x square plus 7x plus 2 which is closest to the line y is equal to 3x minus 3. Okay, so this is a parabola, this is clearly a parabola. If the point closest to the given line would have the same slope as to this line, hence dy by dx 2x plus 7 has to be 3. This implies x is equal to minus 2. Okay, and if x is equal to minus 2, we can obtain the value of y as minus 8. Okay, so this is the point nearest to the given line. Moving on to the next question, question number 30. The coordinates of the point on the curve this, which is farthest from the point this. Okay. So 4x square plus a square y square is equal to 4a square. Okay, so clearly this is an ellipse. X square upon a square plus y square upon 4 is equal to 1. Okay, we need to find the point which is farthest from the point 0, 2. Let the general point on the ellipse be a cos theta and 2 sin theta. Okay, so distance of this from 0, 2 would be a square cos square theta plus 4 1 minus sin theta the whole square root. Okay, so this is d. Let's calculate d square for simplicity. So a square plus 4 minus a square sin square theta minus 8 sin theta. A square sin theta. So differentiate this. Let this be f, then f dash would be sin theta cos theta minus 8 cos theta. Okay, hence cos theta has to be 0. If cos theta is 0, theta is pi by 2, and hence we can calculate the point a cos theta comma b sin theta, which would give us 0, 2. Okay. Moving on to the next question, question number 31. The perimeter of a sector of the circle is constant. Okay, so let this arc subtends angle theta at the center. So r theta plus 2r is equal to constant. Okay, the angle of the sector when the area is minimum is, so r theta would be equal to k minus 2r upon r. Okay, now let's calculate its area. Area would be half of r square into theta, k minus 2r upon r is equal to half r into k minus 2r, and this is a downward opening parabola which would be minimum at which would be minimum at its midpoints of its roots. So its roots are 0 and k by 2. Hence the minimum value would be occur when r is equal to k by 4. Okay. 32. The maximum possible area that can be enclosed by a wire of length 20 cm by bending it into the form of a sector. So we need to we've given the perimeter of the area. So we need to calculate the maximum area that can be formed. Okay. So from above example we can see that r is equal to k by 4, and hence theta would be k minus k by 2 upon k by 4. which is 2 radians. Hence area of the sector would be maximum given the fixed perimeter occurs when theta is 2 radians. Hence 2r plus 2r is equal to 20. This implies r is equal to 5 and we can calculate the area. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 33. The height of the cylinder of maximum volume that can be inscribed in a sphere of radius r is. Okay, so let's draw a simple diagram first. So let this be the cylinder of height h and radius capital R. Hence this would be h by 2. Okay, you also know that h square plus h square by 4 equal to r square, and volume of the cylinder would be pi r square h equal to pi h r square minus h square by 4. Okay, so differentiate this with respect to h. V dash dv by dh is equal to pi r square minus h square by 4 plus pi h into minus h by 2 is equal to 0. Hence from this equation we can calculate h as 2r by root 3. Yeah, this should be okay. Moving on to next question, question number 34. A closed cylinder of given volume will have its least surface when its height is equal to. Okay, so S is equal to 2 pi r plus h, r plus v by pi r square. Okay, 2 pi r square plus 2v by r. Now ds by dr should be equal to 0. This implies 4 pi r minus 2v by r square equal to 0, or r cube equal to v by 2 pi. Okay, now we can calculate r from over here. Now pi r square equal to pi v square by 4 power 1 by 3. So we get h is equal to 2r. Okay. Moving to next question, question number 35. A cylinder is inscribed in a cone of height h and semi-vertical angle alpha. When the curved surface area is maximum, the height of the cylinder is. So let's draw the diagram first for this question, question number 35. If this is the cylinder, this is its radius capital R, this is alpha. Let the height of cylinder is capital H and the height of the cone is small h. So tan alpha would be equal to R upon this length. So tan alpha equal to R upon H minus H. Sorry, H minus capital H. So R is equal to tan alpha into H minus H. So its curved surface area would be two pi R into H. R would be this, tan alpha into H. So H square minus H into H. Okay, wait, H into H. Okay, so this would be minimum when H is equal to H by 2. This is downward opening parabola. Moving on to the next question, question number 36. So we have been given a rectangular sheet of metal with sides A and B and has 4 equal square portions removed. Okay. So this is the rectangular sheet of A and B. Let the width of this width be x. Okay, so the volume of the, so these two will be the sides of the box and height would be x. So the volume would be a minus 2x, b minus 2x and 2x. Okay, so v would be 4x cube minus 2a plus b x square plus abx. So dv by dx is equal to 0. So 12x square minus 4a plus b plus ab is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic in x. Sorry. This is a quadratic in x which we can use to obtain the value of x. We need to keep in mind that the value of x would be less than a and less than b. Okay, or rather less than a by 2 and less than b by 2. Moving on to the next question, question number 37. An open top box of maximum possible volume form a square piece of side A to be made by this. Okay, so it is similar to above question. It's just that in this question a is equal to b, so we can get a volume is equal to x, a minus 2x whole square, and dv by dx is equal to 12x square minus 8ax plus a square is equal to 0. We get x is equal to a by 2 or a by 6. But when x is equal to a by 2, the volume will become 0, and hence the volume hence x has to be equal to a by 6. Moving on to the question number 38. A company desires to manufacture a large number of open metal boxes having a square bottom and a fixed volume of 32. The area of the least metal required is. So let the side be a and height be h. So a square h equal to 32. Okay, and its surface area would be a square plus 4ah. Okay, keep the value of into 32 by a. Now dsa by dA is equal to 2a minus 128 upon a square is equal to 0. If this is equal to 0, then a has to be equal to 4. Okay, so if a is 4, we get h is equal to 2. Now if we know a and h, we can calculate the surface area. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 39. The least area of the triangle formed by a line through 3, 4 and the coordinate axis is. We have already done these type of questions in coordinate geometry straight lines. So let the line be y minus y1 is equal to m x minus 3. Okay, so the least area of the triangle formed by the line through this and the coordinate axis is. So first of all, this question needs to be reframed because the minimum area would be 0. but just for the sake of solving, I must say, let's say slope of the line is negative. Okay, so at x is equal to 0, y is equal to 4 minus 3m, and at y is equal to 0, x is equal to 3 minus 4 by m. Area would be equal to half of xy is equal to half of 24 minus 9m, sorry, 4 3 12 and 12 24 minus 16 by m. So we can apply AMGM in these two terms to calculate the minimum value. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 40. L dash is the latest rectum of the parabola y square equal to 4ax, and PP dash is a double ordinate between the vertex and the latest rectum. The area of the trapezium, this is maximum when the distance of PP dash from the vertex is. Okay, so let's draw a diagram first. So this is a comma 0, this is a comma 2a, a comma minus 2a. This would be 80 square comma 280, and this would be 80 square comma minus 280. Okay, so the area of the trapezium would be half into sum of parallel sides. So this is 4a and this is 480 into distance between them. So distance between these two lines would be a minus 80 square which would be 4a common, so 2a square 1 plus t 1 minus t square. So we need to calculate the minimum value, we need to calculate the maximum value of this expression as t belongs to 0 to 1. Okay, calculate y dash first. So y dash would be equal to 2a 1 minus t square sorry 2a square 1 minus t square, which should be equal to 0. T cannot be equal to minus 1, so 1 plus t minus 2t is equal to 0. Okay, so this would be 1 minus t is equal to 0, and hence t is equal to 1 by 3. Okay, so if t is 1 by 3, distance between these two lines would be a minus 80 square, which is a minus a by 9. Okay, so this distance would be a by 9. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 41. Okay, so the semi-vertical angle of a cone of maximum volume and of given slant height is, so v is equal to 1 by 3 pi l cube sin square alpha cos alpha if its semi-vertical angle is alpha. Okay, this will be L sin alpha, L cos alpha. Okay, so dv by d alpha equal to 1 by 3 pi L square 2 sin alpha cos square alpha minus sin cube alpha is equal to 0 if sin alpha is equal to 0, which can be rejected, or 2 cos square alpha is equal to sin square alpha, or tan alpha is equal to root 2. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 42. A conical tent of given capacity will require the least amount of canvas when the height is, so its volume is given constant, and its canvas would be equal to pi RL. So surface area would be equal to pi into R into L. L is R square plus H square ka root, which has to be minimized. So instead of minimizing this, let's minimize its square. So pi square R square plus H square is equal to pi square. So put the value of R square 3v by pi h into 3v by pi h plus h square. Three pi v pi h square plus h. So differentiate this for minimum value. Let this be f. So f dash equal to 3 pi v minus 6v by pi h cube plus 1 is equal to 0. So this implies pi h cube is equal to 6v. Now substituting the value of v from this equation into this, we can obtain the ratio of h and r. So pi h cube by 6 is equal to 1 by 3 pi r square h. This implies h square by r square is equal to 2. And hence the ratio would be root 2 times of radius. Okay. Moving on to the next question, question number 43. The height of the maximum cone, it should be maximum height of the cone that can be obtained by revolving a right angle triangle of hypotenuse L units. Okay, so if the height of the L square is equal to h square plus r square, okay, V is equal to 1 by 3 r square h is equal to 1 by 3 L square minus h square into h. Now differentiating, dv by dh is equal to L cube by 3 minus h square is equal to 0. L square by 3 minus h square is equal to 0. Hence we get h is equal to L by root 3. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 44. Assuming that stiffness of a beam varies as the breadth and the cube of the depth. Okay, so let stiffness be k dnq. Okay, and also b square plus L square is equal to 4r square. Okay, so what we need to what our aim over here is that we need to maximize the stiffness of the beam. So let's maximize its square is equal to k square b square L power 6 is equal to k square. Value of b square would be 4r square minus L square into L power 6. Differentiate with respect to L, we'd get ds square by dl is equal to 0. This implies 24r square L power 5 is equal to 8 L power 7. So this implies L square is equal to 3r square or L is equal to root 3r. Okay. Moving on to the next question, question number 45. The strength of the beam varies as the product of its breadth and square of its depth d. Okay, so S would be equal to K B d square, and b square plus d square equal to 4r square. Okay, so this question is similar to above. Maximize S square is equal to K, or rather put the value d square. K B d square equal to 4r square minus b square. ds square by db is equal to 0. This implies 4k r square minus 3k b square is equal to 0. This implies 2r is equal to root 3b. Okay. Now we can calculate the relation between b, d and r. Moving on to the next question, question number 46. To run a motor for 1 hour, the petrol varies as the cube of its velocity. Okay. So if it moves against the stream flowing at the rate of 6 miles per hour, the economical speed is okay. But the relative velocity of the boat would be v minus 6 miles per hour. Okay, but the boat needs to travel constant distance, which is d. So time taken by a boat would be d upon v minus 6. Petrol burnt would be d upon v minus 6 into kv cube. We need to for economic speed we need to minimize consumption of this. So let's differentiate it with respect to d, with respect to v. Hence v cube minus upon v minus 6 should be minimum. So f dash should be v minus 6 3v square should be equal to v cube. V is equal to 3 times v minus 6. Okay, this implies 2v by 3 is equal to 18. Okay, sorry, 2v by 3 is equal to 6. Hence v should be equal to 9. So 9 is the economical speed at which the boat should travel. Okay. Moving on to question number 47. A person in a boat is at a distance a from the nearest point A to the shore. He would like to reach the point B early, which is same distance B from A. The ratio of his rate of walking to the rate of boat of speed is sec alpha. He should land at a point and walk to B whose distance from B is okay. So let boat speed B is equal to B, then walking speed will be V sec alpha, then time taken by him would be a square plus b minus x whole square upon v plus x cos alpha upon v. Now v dt by dx is equal to cos alpha plus okay. Now if f dash is equal to 0, if dt by dx is equal to 0, then cos alpha is equal to b minus x upon a square plus b minus x whole square. Okay, and hence we need to calculate b minus a cot alpha. Use the value of cos alpha from this equation and substitute in this equation. Moving to next question, question number 48. A swimmer S is in the sea. Okay. D kilometer from the closest point A on a straight shore. The house of the swimmer is on the shore at a distance of 1 kilometer from A. He can swim at a in the shortest possible time. Okay. So here t would be equal to d square plus x square the root upon u plus 1 minus x upon v. Okay, and dt by dx would be equal to x upon u d square plus x square minus 1 by v, which is equal to 0. This implies x square v square minus u square is equal to d square u square. From here we can calculate the value of x. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. There's a running track of 440 feet is to be laid out enclosing a football field, the shape of which is a rectangle with a semicircle at each end. Okay, 49. So if its radius is r and this is l, then its perimeter would be 2l plus 2 pi r is equal to 440. This implies l plus pi r is equal to 220. Okay. Also we can calculate the area is equal to twice of okay, so it was 2lr. Now dA by dr is equal to 220 minus 2 pi r, and when this is equal to 0 we can calculate r is equal to 110 by pi. R is equal to 110 by pi. For simplicity we can use the value of pi to be 22 by 7, so R comes out to be 35 units. Coming on to the next question, question number 48. Sorry, question number 50. Okay, so if px is equal to this, be a polynomial in x belongs to R where 0 less than a1, okay, then px has, okay. So first calculate p dash x. P dash x is equal to 2n a power n x power 2n minus 1 plus dash dash 4a2x cube plus 2a1x Okay, and this is equal to 0 only at x is equal to 0 since p double dash x is greater than 0. Okay, since p double dash will only have even terms, it would be positive, and if p double dash is positive, then p dash is increasing. If p dash is increasing, then it would have only one root, which we can see occurs at x is equal to 0. So px has only one minimum. Moving to the next question, question number 51. The minimum radius vector of the circle of the curve this is of the length. Okay, so let x is equal to a sec theta and y is equal to b cosec theta. So let r is equal to x square plus y square square root is equal to a square sec square theta plus b square cosec square theta. A square plus b square plus a square tan square theta plus b square cot square theta. Okay, so minimum value of this would be 2ab using AMGM, then r comes out to be a plus b. Moving on to the next question, question number 52. A right cylindrical vessel of a given capacity is formed using least possible material. Then ratio of height to the radius of the base is. So we know that S is equal to surface area. So S can be calculated as 2 pi r plus h. Okay. Two pi r square plus 2v by r. Now since dv by dr is equal to 0, this implies 4 pi r minus 2v by r square is equal to 0. This implies r is equal to v by 2 pi power 1 by 3. Okay, substituting the value of r from this equation in this one, we'd get a ratio of h and r. Okay, moving on to question number 53. Let fx is equal to x minus 1 to the power p and x minus 2 to the power q, where p is greater than 1, q is greater than 1. Then we need to calculate the critical points. Okay, so see fx, we have given fx, so f dash x would be p x minus 1 power p minus 1, x minus 2 power q plus q x minus 1 power p and x minus 2 power q minus 1. Okay, now f double dash would be p minus 1 p minus 2 x minus 2 power q plus 2 pq x minus 2 power q minus 1 plus q minus 1 x minus 1 power p and x minus 2 power q minus 2. Okay, so we can see from the pattern that the condition given in the question only holds when its even derivative is 0, that is f double dash is 0 or f4 is 0, that is fourth derivative is 0, and hence p and q should be even. Okay, and if p and q are even, we can obviously select the select from the options. Moving on to the next question, question number 54. So the question number 54 says the function fx is equal to x e power x, the point x is equal to -1 and 0. We need to check for minimum and maximum. So f dash x is equal to x e power x plus e power x is equal to 0. This implies x is equal to -1. Okay, so if x is -1, let's calculate f double dash at that point. X e power x plus 2 e power x, which is greater than 0 at x is equal to -1. Okay, and if f double dash is positive, then the point is a minima. X is equal to -1 is minima. Moving on to the next question, question number 55. So n characters of information are held on a magnetic tape in batches of x characters each. The batch processing time being this seconds. The optional value of x for fast processing is, so see, the total time required would be n by x into alpha plus beta x square. Since we need to maximize this, n alpha by x plus beta x, and this would be possible only if dt by dx is equal to 0. This implies or x is equal to alpha by beta the root. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 56. So the minimum value of the function defined by fx is equal to fx is equal to maximum of x, x plus 1 and 2 minus x. Maximum of this. Okay, so obviously we need to draw graph for this. So y is equal to x is this graph, y is equal to x plus 1 is this graph, and y is equal to 2 minus x is this one. So maximum of these graphs would be this. Okay, so this would be the minimum value obtained at intersection of these two lines. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 57. We need to calculate minimum value of 1 upon 1 sine power n alpha and 1 plus 1 upon cos power n alpha. Okay, converting into sec and cosec, we get 1 plus sec power n alpha plus cosec power n alpha. Now f dash with respect to alpha should be equal to 0, and sec power n tan alpha minus n cosec power n cot alpha sec power n alpha cosec power n alpha tan alpha minus cot alpha is equal to 0. Okay, sec power n alpha sec square alpha minus 1 upon 1 plus sec power n alpha is equal to cosec power n alpha upon 1 plus cosec power n alpha. So we can simplify this equation. See, converting this equation into cos and sine, we get 1 minus cos square alpha and 1 upon 1 plus sine power n alpha, 1 plus cos power n alpha, and okay. Okay, so this would be cos square alpha. If we compare these two equations, bring it over here, sine square alpha. Comparing LHS and RHS, we see that sine alpha equal to cos alpha. Okay, so alpha has to be pi by 4. Moving on to the next question, question number 58. So the maximum value of fx, if fx plus f of 1 by x is equal to 1 by x. So put x is equal to 1 by x, f of 1 by x plus fx is equal to x. Okay, so we can see that x and 1 by x are equal. So this gives x is equal to plus minus 1. Okay, so fx will be half or minus half depending upon whether x is 1 or minus 1. So the maximum value of fx would be half. Moving on to the next question, question number 59. Let fx is equal to two pi x plus fractional part of x. Then number of points in 0 to 10 at which fx assume its local maximum value is. So we know that at non-integral points f dash for this function would be defined. So f dash will be equal to minus 2 pi sine 2 pi x, and differentiation of fractional part of x would always be equal to 1. Okay, so it tends to achieve maximum values at points which are close to or less than integers. Okay, but it still has a discontinuity, so it has no maxima. This is 59. Moving to next question, question number 60. Let x1 and x2 are abscissa of 2 points on the curve x minus x square in the interval 0, 1. The maximum value of the expression is. Okay, so if fx is equal to x minus x square, where x1 and x2 belong to 0 to 1, then maximum value of x minus x square occurs at x is equal to half, which is 1, and the maximum value would be 1 by 4. Okay, now moving on to the next question, question number 61. Let fx is equal to maximum of x square and 2 minus x square for x between minus 2 to 2. Okay, So let's bifurcate this. So fx will be x square when x square is greater than 2 minus x square, or x square is greater than 1. Okay, so if x square is greater than 1, which is, and when x square is less than 1, the definition of the function would be 2 minus x square. Okay, so the function has its maximum at x is equal to 0 and local as well as global minima at x is equal to plus minus 1. We can draw the graph for the same as well. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 62. If a, b be real numbers such that this has its root real and positive, then minimum value of b is. Okay, moving to question number 62. So we can see that alpha beta gamma is equal to 6, alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to a, and summation alpha beta equal to b. So alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha is equal to b. This implies 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta plus 1 by gamma equal to b by 6 dividing by alpha beta gamma. Now we can use AMGM to calculate minimum and maximum values upon 3 should be greater than equal to 1 by alpha beta gamma power 1 by 3. Okay, now this over here is b, and we already know the value of 1 by alpha beta gamma. Okay, so we can calculate the values of b, the minimum value of b. Moving on to the next question, question number 63. So question number 63 says, let fx is equal to x cube minus 6x square plus 12x minus 3. So at x is equal to 2, so f dash 3x square minus 12x plus 12. Okay, so f of 2 is equal to 0 clearly, and f double dash x is equal to 6 times x minus 2. So f double dash 2 is also equal to 0. Okay, so this would be a point of inflection. Moving to next question, question number 64. If fx satisfies Lagrange's mean value theorem on a and b and c, then there exists such that the tangent at x is equal to c to the curve this is parallel to the chord joining. Oh, this is by definition, so we have option C, Lagrange's mean value theorem. Okay, moving to next question, question number 65. For the function f is equal to this in 0 to 4, value of c in Lagrange's theorem is. So fx over here is x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 3. So f of 0 is equal to minus 6 and f of 4 is equal to 6. Calculating f dash x is equal to x minus 2, x minus 3 plus x minus 1, x minus 2 plus x minus 1, x minus 3. Also we know f dash c is equal to 6 minus minus 6 upon 4 minus 0, which is 3. So this f dash c should be equal to this, So 3x square minus 12x plus 11 should be equal to 3. Now we can calculate the value of c for this. So 3c square minus 12c plus 8 is equal to 0. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 66. So we have been given fx is equal to x bar alpha ln x and f0 equal to 0 satisfies the condition in Rolle's theorem. So f0 f dash x is equal to x bar alpha minus 1 plus alpha log x. This would be 0. This implies c is equal to e power minus 1 by alpha. Okay, and if this belongs to 0 comma 1, then alpha has to be greater than 0. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 67. If a plus b plus c is equal to 0, then the quadratic equation this. Okay, so let's assume a function f ax cube plus bx square plus cx. So we can see that f dash x is equal to 3ax square plus 2bx plus c. This has a root 0 and this has a root equal to 1. Okay, so there will be at least one root of this equation f dash between 0 and 1. F dash will also be 0 between 0 and 1 at least once. Okay, so moving to question number 68. If a function fx is continuous in the closed interval 2 to 4 and differentiable in the open interval 2 to 4, okay, so we can directly calculate the value of c over here. F dash c is equal to c f4 minus f2 upon 4 minus 2, which would be equal to 13 minus 5 upon 2, which is 4. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 69. The quadratic equation, this has at least one root lying between 0 and 1. Okay, so this is just reverse of question number 67. In that question, a plus b plus c is equal to 0 was given, and we were asked of a range of one particular root, and in this case we have been given that there is a root between 0 and 1, and we have been asked the condition. So a plus b plus c is 0. Moving to the last question, question number 70 of this exercise. So the value of a for which x cube minus 3x plus a is equal to 0 has two distinct roots in 0 and 1. So let's f dash x is equal to 3x square minus 3, which cannot be 0 in the interval 0 comma 1. Okay, so there will be no value of a for which fx will have two roots in 0 and 1. Okay.